folks, welcome back to the channel. Since we got the car back a few days ago, we've been pretty much driving non-stop. IAG had done the oil change on the engine right around 500 miles, and when we got it, we still had about 1,000 to put on to the next interval oil change. So we are at that point now. The weather has been absolutely atrocious the entire week here in Houston, but we're at a buddy of mine's house and we're going to knock this out. So come check it out and we'll show you all the details on how to do an oil change on an extended oil pan for Killer B and a big turbo Subaru. So check it out. As for IAG's break-in procedure of new engines, we are at the step of 1,000 miles for an oil change. As you see here, we're at 25,415. And if you go off of IAG's sticker right before they put it on the truck, 25,415. Okay, we're going to start off with taking off the splash shield here. It's just a couple of 12mm bolts. There's one. I'm going to leave that one in there just by a little bit. And the one back here. We'll come back up to this front one and finish removing that. And we'll simply push this aside, and that exposes everything underneath. Obviously, the first thing you want to do before draining the oil is loosen the oil cap. Just lay that to the side here. And something I like to do is I always leave the dipstick open, just to kind of say, you know, there's no oil in the engine. Just an old trick, I know. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to knock off this drain plug here, and we're also going to be testing the oil using Blackstone Laboratories. We're going to be doing that throughout the entire life of this engine, and hopefully with some testing that'll be a very long life. So let's go ahead and crack this off, and we need to catch not the beginning and not the end of the oil drain as per their instructions. Okay, on the Killer B oil pan we have a 17mm drain bolt. Right next to it we have a NPT fitting, so if we want to do something like an external temperature gauge or another kind of drain or even maybe a cooler. But we're only going to focus right here. So let's crack that loose. And right here we have our Blackstone Labs catch bottle, so we'll be catching the oil in that. This oil's only got 1,000 miles on it, so I'm actually kind of curious to see what kind of condition and color it is. Nope, still. Okay, I think we're ready. Here comes the fun part. Okay, and we'll catch our oil sample. Got it?
Yeah.
And now we just make sure we catch all the oil. Doesn't look too dirty. Remember, it's the extended volume brings it up to about 6.5 quarts. So we're gonna let that drain for a little bit. Try to get as much of this break-in oil out. It's a 10W40 from Motul. And we're gonna be filling it up with the same stuff. All right, well, we're just about done draining here. We went ahead and cleaned up a little So we're gonna get ready to put in the drain plug. First things first, we want to replace the crush washer. It's got two sides to it. What you want is you want the beveled edge of the new crush washer to be towards the pan. So get that on there and we'll close it up. Once it seats, just want to get the crush washer good in there, and it doesn't take a whole lot of torque to finish this up. That's about it. Clean up, and get ready to do the oil filter. Okay, next thing we want to do is go ahead and remove the oil filter. It's pretty much very tightly wrapped around the header here. So it's a bit of a tight squeeze to get into, but it's coming loose. So let that drain the residual first, and then we'll take it off the rest of the way. With the new filter, we are going to go ahead and pre-fill it with oil before installing it. Okay, so we're going to pre-fill the oil filter now. This one of these new Purelator oil filters. This is what IAG recommends for their built engines. So we're going to use a little bit of oil on the O-ring here, get that lubricated. And then we're going to add some of this Motul 1040 mineral braking oil. Nothing really to it, just add the oil. That's it. So we'll pop this under the car. Want to double check, make sure that you didn't leave the old O-ring off of the old filter, because that would cause a pretty big leak. And you definitely don't want to cross-thread these. Just like any other car. Spin it on. And get some oiling. All right. And that's that for the underside. We're not going to wait. We are not going to replace the splash shield just yet. We will start the engine once we get oil in it, double check for leaks. Once everything's good, then we'll put everything back up. Okay, as we stated earlier, the extended oil pan holds about 6.5 quarts. So we've got 7 quarts on the table. We've already pre-filled the filter. So if you can see, I don't know if it's going to show up on the camera or not, but we are going to take this one as our half. We're going to drop it down to the 1 pint mark, and then we'll just add the other 6 quarts. Make sure you use a clean filter or clean funnel, so you're not adding extra contaminants to the system. Now on these Subarus, these fill necks sometimes back up if you try to fill too fast, so just take your time. And check, see progress. We're almost there. little less than half, but we'll make that work. Okay, and then add your other 6 quarts. Well, we've got our oil filled in. So now we'll check the level. We're using one of these Super Stick aftermarket oil dipsticks. Just push down the button. It's supposed to be a little more accurate. Okay, looks like we're right in the lines. We'll do one more and let things drain down through the heads into the pan just to make sure. And it looks good to us. And replace the oil cap. Okay, start her up and we'll look for oil pressure. And oil pressure's up to 80 already. Almost 87. Oil temperature's reading. Next thing you want to do is check for any kind of leaks. Drain bolt looks good. No drips from the oil filter. Well guys, that's about all there is to it. Oil levels look good, oil pressure's up. We've already got the belly pan reinstalled. Next we have 1,500 more miles of break-in, under 4,000 RPMs, and as near as little as 0 boost. After that, we'll do the oil change again, and then it will finally be time to have some fun with this new setup. IAG's procedures for break-in are pretty cut and dry, so we're sticking to that about as firmly as we can. If you liked the video and want to see more stuff like this, add a comment below. If nothing else, like, subscribe, and we'll catch you on the next one. Much more to come. Thanks. See you later. Ready for our 1,000 mile oil change towards the break-in of this new engine. I don't know why I sound like William Shatner there. Trying again.